Hi guys, I'm Debbie Jenkins with Debbie J's Crafting Corner, and I'm here today on the Pear Blossom Press YouTube channel with another fun light up card video for you guys. So this is my card. I think it turned out so pretty. Love all the shine, but that's not the secret. The secret is, yeah, the letters light up. I love how this one turned out. So let's go ahead and get started, and I'll show you how I created this fun card. We're going to start off with a stencil and die set. This is Shine Bright from Spellbinders. Super fabulous. I can't believe I did not actually use this until now. Yeah, so we're going to basically just do the design the way it is with the stencil. This is a layering stencil. It's all going to be vertical with Shine Bright and some fun stripes, and it's multiple layers and it's so easy to line up. So we're going to go ahead and start on this one. I did do another sample and I was just playing, and then I realized, you know what? I really like this. I need to turn on the camera. That's the reason this card is what we're doing today. So first I'm going to just put the first stencil down, and you can see there is still some ink on there. I'm just lining it up with the quarter. Thinking back though, I probably should have shifted it down a little bit, but you know, it's okay. I'm also using some paper, some purple tape from my stash to hold it down onto the grip mat. The grip mat's going to be great for holding my paper in place, but the stencil, yeah, there's not enough of the plastic there for it to hold on to, so it can slide. I'm just going to tape it down, and then we're going to start inking it up and just switch out each of the colors. For this first stencil, I'm using a big brush and some bee sting ink from Simon Hurley. All of the inks I'm going to be using today are going to be some Simon Hurley inks, and I'll leave links to everything down in the description below in case you're interested. Now we'll get started on the second one. I'm going to use some Slippery When Wet from Simon Hurley. For this third one, we're going to use Simon Hurley Roar, nice bright orange. And then for the final color, I'm using Crown Me, which is this lovely royal purple. Yeah, I have to admit, I'm going to go ahead and say this. Mary, you know I love you, honey. There is a buddy of mine that shows up in my live streams all the time, and her favorite color is purple, and she lets everybody know it. So that was really the reason that I added that final purple on there. Now, I am going to add a little bit more color to this because I don't want a white background. So I'm actually going to bring in some blue. This is going to be Simon Hurley Remember Me, and this is just to give a light background. So we've got color basically covering the entire thing other than the letters, and I think this is actually fabulous. It would look great without anything extra. But wait, we're going to do a light up card, right? So I am going to do a little bit more to this panel. Now this panel gives me some fun 70s vibes. I really love those colors. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and cut out using my magnetic magic mat to make sure that the die stays in place. I am going to be cutting out the word bright. I was planning on doing both, but you know what? Yeah, that top word, the shine, is too close to the top, so I really should have slid it down. I still think it's going to be fabulous. Next, we're going to set everything up for our mechanism. I'm taking my cover and I am drawing on a card base where I want the word to go. So we're going to know exactly where everything's going to go. And then I can just tape all of my lights right behind the word bright, right where I'm going to want them. So the Pear Blossom Press light that I'm using is the Easy Light. That is the one with the little mechanism where you push the button, and 3 little lights that are on the end of wires. So you just place them down and put some tape over the top so they stay in place right where you want them. You can position them wherever you want. You've just got the 3 lights. So I'm going behind 3 of the letters, and I'm going to take that piece that I die cut out and put it over the top. That looks fabulous. I'm loving it. That's not all we're doing though. So next I'm just going to adhere this down, the little mechanism, the button part. I'm going to adhere that down to my card base using some double-sided tape. Just putting some of that on the back. I'm going to burnish it down and take off that release paper and then adhere it down in place. It's going to be over close to the bottom corner, so it'll be easy if we ever need to change out the battery to be able to do that. And don't worry about the rest of the wires. We're just going to twist them up and tape those down in place too so they're out of the way. Fabulous. So we don't want that hole to be there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just cover it with some vellum. Yeah, just some vellum that you have in your stash. Pear Blossom Press has some fabulous vellum as well. I'll be sure to leave a link down below for you guys as well. I'm just going to cut a piece off and then adhere it down and then trim off the edges. This piece is a bit big for what I need. I'm going to let that glue dry for a little bit, and while I'm doing that, I'm going to take out my world's greatest foam tape from Pear Blossom Press. I wish I had more. I love this stuff. So this tape, I don't know if you've seen it before. You probably have, but if you don't have some in your stash, you need this stuff. It is double thick, so it is the perfect thickness for light up cards, shaker cards, whatever. It's the perfect thickness for specifically for these battery packs from Pear Blossom Press for these lights. But it's also got other features that make it even better. First off, it has some release paper that is really, really easy to remove, and it is repositionable for 30 minutes. Okay, I always have to test. So I'm going to layer this up to see what it's going to look like and test the light. So let's see. This is perfect, but we're not quite done. I'm going to go ahead and take all the release paper off and put the panel in place, and then we've got a little bit more to go. So we used the bubble cut to cut that out of our panel, but now I'm going and I cut out a bunch of the letters, the word pieces, and now I'm just layering all of those little pieces up. This took me a little bit, so I was just watching a video. Yeah, I was watching some YouTube while I was doing this and got it all done. So there's a bunch of little letters, so they are going to say shine bright. So we've got all of our letters for our sentiment all complete, and then we're going to be putting these on our card in a minute too. Okay, so I could have left the letters white, but no, I couldn't actually. Anyway, yeah, I just got in the new Astro Paste from Simon Hurley, his newest batch. This is Fool's Gold. So I made a panel. Yeah, glitter cardstock. I made DIY glitter cardstock using the new Simon Hurley paste. This stuff is fabulous. Love the color. Anyway, I made that, let it dry. Okay, I sped up the drying time with my heat gun. And now I'm going to die cut that out. Now, I do want to make a suggestion here. If you're going to do this, make sure that it is completely dry, because I had a couple pieces that kind of got stuck in the dyes. So I kind of had to redo those, but I think this is absolutely gorgeous. Now I'm just topping off each of those white letters with the gold, and now we've got our own, basically, chipboard sentiment. I love this. The sentiment is all ready, so I am just adding that to the front of my card over the places where the shine is still there. The word shine is, and we had cut out the word bright. So I'm using some liquid adhesive. What I'm using is some Barely Arts glue, and I'm just adding glue to the back and then adhering it onto the vellum. Now it is a little bit high. You know, it is a little bit popped up because of the foam, so you can't really press down on it really well to make sure it is all there. But that also gives you a little bit of time to kind of rearrange it with your tweezers and make sure it is right where you want it. Like, I can tell that's a little bit crooked, so I needed to go back and fix it. But I have time. One thing about glue on vellum is it does give you a little bit of wiggle room because it doesn't adhere immediately. Okay, so our sentiment is all added. Let's test this out. Perfect. I'm going to put an acrylic block on there because I do have one more step to do.
So we've got the design, we've got the light, we've got the sentiment, the whole bit. What we don't have is a button. So I am going to make myself a little button using the Pear Blossom Press Stamp and Die Bundle. So my favorite stamp out of the bunch is the one that says Press Here. So I'm just going to stamp that on a scrap, and then, yeah, we're going to have a button to add to the front of our card. I mentioned that this is a stamp and die bundle. So in the dies, there's actually a little tiny circle that is going to be perfect size for our button. So I'm going to take that out and yeah, I'm going to cut out my little tiny sentiment with that little tiny circle. You may not have noticed, but I actually used my pencil and just drew a little dot where I needed that button to go. So I'm just adding it down with some liquid glue. That's all it's going to take, and we're going to be done with this card.
Now, wasn't that super, super fun and so easy? Simple stenciling, simple die cutting, layering up a couple of die cuts, and that's about it, along with adding some easy lights to your light. So I hope that this card inspired you to shine bright and make your own light up cards. You guys have a great day. Check out this video to see more light up cards, and I will talk to you soon. Bye, guys.